Hey guys, Stonehenge 2 here, back with the Alliance Celestial Avengers. Today we are facing off against, who did we face off against? XK9, I believe? No. Nefti. Nefti is who we faced here. And my team is going to be Sinister, Deathless Thanos, and Apocalypse for synergy. I don't think I actually have any fights with Apoc this war. First up, I'm going to be taking this Node 9 Serpent with Sinister. And this is one I didn't actually have a chance to test in off-season, but I was sure it would be fine. And it obviously would be much easier with a Mr. Fantastic pre-fight, but I did not end up getting one this war, which doesn't matter that much. He's going to be throwing a lot of special ones because it is power efficiency, but I'm not too worried about it. I'm going to get my bleeds active here. He goes into death immunity. And I bait a couple of specials. He's going to be at another one here, though. And I'm just going to throw that special one into his block to get the inequity going. That way this special 3 doesn't hit quite as hard. The node does have blood in the water, which increases the defender's attack by 100%, I believe, if you're suffering from a damage over time debuff. So that hurt just a little bit. But he still went down. I had a little over 50% health left, so really wasn't too bad. And going to just pop in some potions here. And going to be taking this next fight, which is this Black Panther Civil War. Also going to be using Sinister here. I got my same Power Start 1 active. I'm just going to dash back and wait for his Reflective Matrix to go on cooldown. That way I can parry heavy. And it's just about on cooldown now, so I'm able to parry and charge my heavy up. It actually crits for like 10% of his health. And then I'm going to charge another heavy so I can get my debuffs or my Vicious active. And here, I should have just backed off and not let him hit me. And then I hit him, and now he's indestructible. So that was a waste. That was definitely a mistake on my part. I'm not sure why I threw the special one there. I could have just waited a second more and then started my parry heavy again. Here, I hit him again. He's at 2%. I'm going to wait out that indestructible, and then I should be able to finish him off. So it was very sloppy gameplay on my part. I could have done it way quicker, way easier, but I'm selling on fight time with Sinister today, and that will be a trend going forward. So next up, I am taking definitely a very popular Sinister fight. It's a debuff immune America Chavez. It's not actually debuff immune. It's got fisticuffs, so she's debuff immune for the first 30 seconds. So I get lucky and trigger an extra Cosmic and double Mystics. I think I may have preferred if I didn't trigger Mystics here, to be honest, but in the end, it is what it is. Got a little intercept there. I'm actually hitting really hard because Sinister is kind of just a tank. She throws her heavy there. With Sinister, well, a combo there as well. With Sinister, if you don't have, or if you have the block, that steadfast that you can see on me right there, if you have that active, then you can actually block unblockable specials. So I'm not worried about pushing her to special 2 here. I'm going to take a little bit of damage in the block, but even though it's unblockable, I can still block it. And then just drop my special 2 there, and she goes down. I could have gone in and thrown a special 1. I just really wasn't too fussed about it. It just took a little bit longer than it could have for that fight. And speaking of taking a little bit longer than fights could have, this fight goes abysmally. This has got masochism, so he shrugs, which is fine. I just need to trigger masochism before he goes into, or before I throw my special 1. So here, the parry stun actually stuck, and the debuffs triggered because Sinister reduces ability accuracy of Shrug, but he just reduced it for the wrong debuff right there. So here, same thing. I was waiting for it to shrug. It didn't shrug. So then I try and intercept him. Don't know why I tried to intercept him. I get hit. Here, I throw a special one into his block and 1 degen sticks. So that was also unfortunate. Now he has a very low chance to shrug debuffs. I get hit again. He didn't shrug that debuff, but I only had 1 and no, what's it called? Vicious active either. So here I throw that special one. He shrugs half the debuffs again, naturally. Gonna punish that with the heavy. Gonna go and hit him just a few times. And I think I threw another special one here, and I actually crit, so it does a good damage, and then those degens, all of them stuck, so he went down. I tried to throw really hard that fight, but Sinister is pretty nearly immortal, at least as far as I can tell so far. So it went pretty good. Here, this next fight, I am going to be taking this Shocker, and I'm going to be using Deathless Thanos here. I'm going to be leaving Suicides on. I could have and probably should have taken them off, but I've taken this fight with Thanos with Suicides on several times before. I don't think it was a rank 4 Shocker, but I wasn't too fussed about it, as you'll see is a great mistake. Shocker is an ass. So take a decent amount of recoil damage. That bleed is actually doing a lot of damage as well. Here, Aggression Prowess makes those specials hurt even more in the block. So I did manage to not get hit by it, but there he throws his special one into my block like an ass. And so that's annoying. I throw my special one into his block just to show him what's up. Because naturally, if he's doing it, then I may as well do it. So now he throws another special 2. He has 2 prowess that time. It does another hefty chunk of my health, brings me down to another protection threshold. So there, managed to get pause on some of my Furies. I have Ebb and Flow back up, but he's at enough charges that I can't just let him be, or that I can't just block him, that is. And so I a special 2 into the block and it hurt, and now I use a counter punch, and it didn't actually count as an intercept, which I thought that the counter punch counted as an intercept, but it wasn't for some reason. Oh wait, no, you have to intercept him when he's unblockable, I forgot. So yeah, that's why it didn't remove any of his charges. That special 3 brings him down to 4% health, and I did manage to not eat any more hits that did damage there, and he went down. But I was actually stressing out just a little bit there. I kind of got bullied a little bit by that guy. So here, I'm going to throw a couple of team potions in, and I'm going to be taking this Thanos here on node 40. And I'm going to be using Sinister for this. It does have Soul Barb when you parry multiple times, but since Sinister has no buffs of his own, as long as I don't parry, I'm not actually going to, or as long as I don't dex, I'm not actually going to take any damage from the Soul Barb. And I forgot about Mixmaster there for a second. I parried the last hit of that special for some reason. Don't really know why, but got some of my degens active. They brought him almost down to 50% threshold. I should be able to get him down to that threshold before I threw another special, but actually it looks like I didn't. There, I just missed a reparry. And should be able to throw my special one here. And now it's just wait until he dies, pretty much. Which he didn't quite die there. I did trigger Dex, which was doing a decent bit of damage, but he ended up going down without too much of a threat. Not really much of a threat at all, to be honest. And next up, I'm going to be taking this Killmonger on node 43. I'm going to throw another team health potion in because I'm running low on potions because I've been trying really hard to throw this war. I'm going to throw an Invuln on because Killmonger gains power per debuff you put on him. So it's going to make it so when I throw my special 1 on him, he goes instantly to a special 3. And here I'm going to hit him just a few times to activate his glancing, and hit him a few more times for no actual reason there. Now I should be able to start getting my self bleeds on and get ready to throw a nice special 2 into him, or special 1 into him. So he does activate reverb there. Not super fussed about it. Throw the special 1. He goes red, which I knew was going to happen. That's why I threw an invuln on. And I would have survived it without an invuln, but like more potions. May as well use the invuln. And now I do get a pause on, so this fight should be pretty much over at this point, and it is. So it took a little bit longer, like all of them, than it should have. It took 45 seconds. I've taken that fight before, and like, I think 25 seconds with Sinister a few times, but in the end, it's all good. Next up, I actually had assigned this Sinister to Prowler, and then I decided to use Thanos for it, even though Thanos isn't like the most amazing Sentinel counter. But there was one of our guys who wanted to be able to move before he went out that night, and so I told him I would just knock out the Sentinel for him so that he was able to get moved up to the next fight. And here Sentinel was just being stingy, and then I ate a special 1. And it wasn't ideal, but it is what it is. There I have my panic up, so the mist doesn't really affect me at all. Or the falter, that is. And here I am just going to push him to a special 2. I'm really not too fussed about dexing his special 2. It's not a big deal. And here I forgot about panic, so I didn't put the miss, or didn't use it to avoid the miss, and just casually did nothing of use. So here, baiting another special 2, and he's going to get the miss on him again. At least I can't get smacked by another special 1 while he's got the miss active. And I'm going to throw the special 3 here. I kind of expected the special 3 to do more. After the special 3, it did 10% damage. That's not really very much, especially with my Furies and stuff active. But here my Furies fall off again, so I managed to get the indestructible, or the unstoppable, on me instead of him. He's going to throw a couple more hits, get some more Furies active. It's just a long fight, long and slow. Here I, once again, am not going to use Counterpunch because I am an absolute numpty. But in the end, it is what it is. There, I both almost got saved and cooked by the stupid, what's it called? Falter, both at the same time. But that special 2 was actually enough to take him down, so that fight went okay. Here, I could have probably taken that Black Widow with Sinister, but I didn't bother. Next up, I am taking the Onslaught boss with Sinister. And Sinister is actually just like the most goated champion in the game, because people think that, oh, you can't stun, you can't parry, whatnot. Sinister's not going to be any good for it. Well, this is a great testament to how not true that is. So I use my special 1 as a safety net in case he does attack me while I'm charging my heavy. But there, I may have been a little bit risky there. I could have eaten that special 1, but I'm pretty sure I eat some special 1s in this fight, and you'll see that it doesn't really matter. I'm still at like full health. Sinister's down almost 50%, and it's less than a minute into the fight right now. Here, I swear I was dexing. It just was not letting me back, so I built up a whole bunch of thingies, and then I got hit by a combo, and I got a bunch of neuros on me. Here, I accidentally blocked a hit of the special 1 again. He let me fully charge my heavy there, which was generous of him, but the organic magnetisms on me actually failed my self-bleed buff, which was unfortunate. But here, once again, back up to a special 1. I have my relic, so this time I'll just use my relic if I need an intercept. So he does end up dashing in at me, so I throw my relic to stay safe there pretty much. And I'll charge after this heavy, or this special 1 as well. and throw some more degens on him. Every time I get the degens on him, he is ticking down a lot. And then here, I don't think I even bother trying to heavy charge again. I'm just going to finish him off with basics at this point. It's right about 2 minutes into the fight, and he's still taking quite a bit of damage. That was just not quite enough with that hit. So right here, that'll be enough, and he goes down. So just over 2 minutes into the fight, and the Onslaught boss went down, so not too bad. We did end up winning this war. This was such a stressful war. They went Nefti always clears in the last couple of hours, and so at 2 hours left in the war, they had done 30 fights and died 4 times. So it was okay, we're good. And then they proceeded to go 100 more fights without dying a single time. And then they died to, I can't even remember who. And so it was tied up, but they were winning on time by a bit. And so then on the second to last fight with 15 minutes left in the war, they died again. But that'll be it for this one. I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks, guys. Bye.